Good morning, students. Let us discuss the next lesson, religion and society in early times. So, India is a multi religious country. So, what is the meaning of religion? So, you already know. So, in our country, different religion people are living together. So, do you know which religion people are living in our country? Yeah, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jains, Parsis, Sikh, Buddhists, like that. Several religion people are living together in our country without any differences. Okay, so what is the meaning of religion? So here religion means the belief in and worship of superhuman controlling powers, especially a personal god or goddess. So, in a simple way, you can say that religion is a way of life. Religion is a way of life. Some people live in a one particular way. So, those are belongs to one religion, like Hindus, okay, like Muslims, like Christians. Okay, every religion is having their own customs, own priorities, own way of life. Okay, that is the meaning of religion. And here in our country, different religious people are living. That's why our country is called a secular country. According to our constitution, our country is a secular country. What is the meaning of secular? Here secular means the government don't give any priority to any religion people. Even any religion won't participate in administration of the government. So all religion people treat equally in our country. So along with other religion people, every religion people can enjoy the rights in our country. All are having a fundamental rights, all are having a constitutional rights along with other religion people. Even though here India, Hindu religion community are more major, remaining all communities or religion people are minor, but there is no discrimination between these religion people according to our constitution. Okay, all people are living together, all are sharing their customs. Okay, all are adapting from one religion to another religion. We are all are celebrating Holi, all are celebrating Vinayak Chauthi. Even in this time now, the Ayodhya Rama Mandir construction is going on. So many people come forward and they are giving donations from different religions. Even Muslims also, Muslim religion people also donating funds to construct the Ram Mandir. So Rama is belong to Hindus, but even all are believing, all are respecting other religion people, and they are trying to sponsoring funds to construct the Rama Mandir in Ayodhya. Like that, people are living together. Okay, so that is called a secular country. So you can't see this type of situation in different countries in the world. There is a more discrimination is there between different religions. Okay, so here in our early times, people worship gods and goddesses in many ways. We are having different gods and goddesses, especially in Hindu religion. So thousands of gods and goddesses are there. Some people offer flowers to their sacred idols, some perform yagnas, some chant holy hymns silently, and some do not worship any idols. So every religion have their own procedure to worship. Some offer flowers to their sacred idols, some perform yagnas, pujas, some chant holy hymns silently, so especially Muslims, and some do not worship any idols. In Muslim community, they don't have an idol, no form, no photo for Allah. In some other religion, Jains and some Buddhists don't perform pujas for idols. Okay, next. Some people never pray at all. Atheists, they are called atheists. People who don't have a belief on the God. Some people. Now let us read about some religious practices and beliefs of people of the earlier Indian society. Okay, so hunter gatherers. So whatever we start, so we start from the hunter gatherers. At the time, in the beginning, actually, we don't have any religion. We don't have any caste system in our society. So all these formed later only. So all the our ancient people started their life as hunter gatherers. The priority of those people is gathering food to survive. That is the main motive of the our ancient people. Later, these all systems are established. Okay, so we know a little about their religious beliefs from their paintings and burials. So at that time we don't have any books, we don't have any technology. So that's why, so only the information carried from one person to another are carried by paintings, carried by pictures. So we know about them, about their religious beliefs from their paintings and burials only. So we can also know about their religion by studying the religion of today's hunter gatherers like the Chenchus. So those are the people who came from ancestors. Okay, the Chenchus. So now also they are following those systems. So by observing them, we can understand the religious beliefs of the our elder people. Okay, next. It appears that painting and dance were important parts of the religious lives of the hunter-gatherers. At that time, they don't know how to do yagnas, how to perform puja, how we are doing now. They know only through their paintings. So we understood that the painting and dance were important parts of the religious lives of the hunter-gatherers. They probably painted hunting scenes or danced to imitate a hunting scene and believed that this would give them a good hunt. Sometimes they dressed themselves as animals, wore masks and danced. So that was the style of the worshipping the nature at the time. Okay, next they also danced hand in hand. Now we can see in Koya community they dance hand in hand. So hunter gatherers believed that the forests and wild animals were sacred and had to be worshipped. Why they worshipped forest and animals? Why? Because they were dependent on forests. Everything provided to them the forest provided to them. They gathered fruits, they hunt the animals, they gathered wood, everything from the forest. So that's why they worshipped forests and animals were scared. Okay, next. Animals should not be killed except when needed. Even they followed that system. They never killed unnecessarily. They never killed the animals unnecessarily. When they needed, when they hunger, then only they killed the animals. They worshipped many animals too by drawing their pictures on caves. So they worshipped different animals. Even now also we are worshipping different animals like elephant, swan, tiger, cow, okay, even crocodile, okay, tortoise. So we are giving more importance to every animal. Okay, here we can see some pictures drawn by our elder people. So here one picture is there. Look at his head dress. Some here like deer. Okay, the decorations on his arms and the stuff in his hand. And here one picture is given, wild boar of Bhimbetka caves. So they painted all these on on the walls of the caves. Next, so archaeological excavations show that many earlier hunters buried the dead along with some objects of use. So at the time already we can find so many this type of things in Egypt, pyramids. So along with the dead bodies, they buried different articles. So why they buried along with the dead bodies? Because probably they believed that life continues even after death. Life continues even after death. So some beliefs are there in the minds of the people, and hence made this arrangement for the afterlife of the dead person. So after death also they are having another life. They continue their lives. So that's why for use of them they buried some articles, some things which are used at the time of alive. Okay, so like that. So a 20th century book in Tamil called Pariya Puranam, Periya Puranam describes the religious practices of hunter gatherers living near Srikalahasti and narrates the famous story of Bhakta Kannappa. Already, I think you heard about Bhakta Kannappa, and one picture also there in Telugu and another languages, Bhakta Kannappa. If you don't know, please watch the movie Bhakta Kannappa, then you can understand the how they worshipped, okay, nature. So he acted as priest and made offerings of meat, honey, fruits, and flowers to the god Mahashiva. So here Bhakta Kannappa a tribe So he don't know how to pray the god. So he know he offered what he extracted from the forest. So he offered meat, honey, fruits, and flowers to God Mahasiva. So to this day, the Chanchus of Nallamala hills worship forest goddess called Garla Maisamma or Gangamma by making offerings to her and by dancing. Even today also. So the ancestors of our ancient people, so the Chanchus, worship the goddess called Garlamaisam and Gangamma by making offerings, and later they dance. So they also worship Mallaya of Srisailam and Narsimha of Ahobilam. They believe that these gods had married Chanchu girls and therefore they were their sons in law. So even Shiva and or other gods married Chanchu's girls. So here you can see that Chanchu's dance. Okay, next, early farmers and herders. So archaeological excavations in early villages so that they probably worshipped mother goddesses. So in the beginning, so we had given more importance to mother. Okay, so our mother's earth. So already you know that only India is called a mother earth. So remaining countries called as fatherland, not motherland. Okay, so they probably believed that the crops and cattle would prosper with her blessings. Mother goddesses were worshipped in the form of small images. They started preparing idols, images to perform puja, or simply in the form of a stone, a tree, or a plant. You can see when you go to villages, in every corner of the village, on the tank barns, we can see the small stones which is decorated. We can't see any construction, temple construction under the tree. They place the stone and worship. Okay, so they used small images or stone or tree or plant to worship. So you can see one idol given here, baked clay figure of mother goddess from Mehrag, 5,000 years old. Okay, the early animal herders of the Deccan means already you know that almost South India, laid in the Deccan Plateau. So Deccan, who are living in Deccan Plateau, had left behind the ash mounds. We can find different ash mounds in our Deccan Plateau. Some archaeologists believe that these may be the remains of seasonal bonfire rituals, just as people still do on Holi, Deepavali, and Pongal festivals. In January 14th, I think we celebrated Pongal. At the time we uh, fired. Okay? So that's why some ash mounds are created. So like that, they also celebrated this type of rituals at the time of Holi, Diwali. Okay, how we are celebrating. Next, sheep herds who rearing the sheep. Those are called sheep herds in India today are known by different names across the country. So at present also some people are depending on sheep herds. Okay, that is the profession of their families. So they are calling on different names. Okay, across the country. Dangar in Maharashtra, Kurbas in Karnataka, and Kurma, Golla, Yadava in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. These are all belongs to one community. They worship special deities like Mallanna, Bhirappa, Renuka, Ellamma, Maisamma, Pochamma. So these community people, these caste people, especially the Kurma, Golla, Yadava community people worship different deities. అంటే they worship the gods of Rama, Krishna. So in addition to that, they worship different deities also. Those are called Mallanna. Mallanna means Shiva, Bhirappa, Renuka, Ellamma, Maisamma, Pocham, etc. Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Farmers also rare animals and have close interaction with herders. Hence, both of them worship similar gods. Even farmers in villages also worship these gods along with the Kurma and Golla and Yadava people. A common mode of worship is by building small shrines for these gods and goddess in corner of the village. So we can find these type of shrines in corner of the villages or in entrance of the villages or on the tank bonds. So seasonally they worship, occasionally they worship these gods. Okay, shrines. Next, on special occasions are organized in which animals like sheep or cock are sacrificed and cooked rice offering are made by the entire community. So what they will do? So occasionally they celebrate in some particular date. So they sacrifice the cock or sheep or goat and they offer the cooked food and collectively they eat that food. They spend all day near the temple and they will come back by home in the evening. Like that, they celebrate the different festivals, okay, ceremonies. They usually pray for God for good harvest, freedom from disease, welfare of children. Why they worship the gods? First one, for good harvest. So most of the people depend on agriculture. That's why they pray to the God for good harvest. Okay, without any hindrances, without any problems, and freedom from disease. So at that time they don't know about medicine. That's why when cholera and some other diseases affected, so many were died. So they prayed to God, freedom from disease, welfare of children. Next, so they prayed to gods for the welfare of the children. So our people have been worshipping several trees like already you know. We worship different trees which are useful to our daily lives. Okay, so like we worship people, neem, jammi. So in the time of Dasra time, we worship jammi, banyan, and plants like tulsi. Though you can know tulsi plant, we can find in every house. In the morning, our mothers worship tulsi plant. So we can find neem, jammi, banyan plants in the near the temples. In every temple, we plant all these trees. These are very useful for our health. Okay, so potsherds from very ancient times have pictures of people, leaves painted on them, indicating that people had great regard for these trees. So you can find so many forts are there with decorated with painted leaves on the parts. So they used these trees, leaves or something, bark and something in their daily life for medicine, for another purposes. That's why they worshipped those trees. Many farmers communities also worship animals like elephants, tigers, snakes, monkeys, etc. So it is believed that these practices have their origin in very ancient period. Okay, religion in the Indus Valley civilization. So several cities emerged in the northwestern part of the subcontinent in the plains of the Indus River some 4000 years ago. So we are having different river basins are there, Ganga, Indus, okay, like that. So this is one of the ancient river, Indus river basin, that is called. So besides the river basins, besides the river, our culture was established. Why? Because people need water for survive, for feed to animals and for agriculture to grow plants. We required water. Without water, we can't do anything. That's why most of the cultures are established near the rivers. So here also in 4600 years ago, so in the beside the Indus River, one culture was established. So these cities lasted for nearly 900 years and then declined. This is also called Harappan culture. Harappa Nagarikata, Harappan culture. So after Harappa, which was excavated first by the archaeologists, these cities were inhabited by many kinds of craft persons. So many craft persons were lived in this Harappan culture. So artisans, these are also called artisans or craft persons, potters, carpenters, stone bead makers, gold and silver jewelers, weavers, and masons like that. So besides traders, administrators and rulers, among the ruins, baths, granaries, storehouses, public buildings, roads, drains, and houses of ordinary people were found. In that culture, Harappan culture, we can find advanced culture. So they constructed their craft persons were there, and different constructions we can find in that at that time. Okay, several mother goddess figures were found. It also seems that they held several trees, including the people and sacred, and also probably worshipped some animals. Pictures of male gods were also found. So here you can find here figure of a male. Here the male person sat and around him some paints are there: tiger, elephant, okay, and cow or bullocks, something. Okay, male god from Harappa. So this is belongs to Harappan culture, and you can find another mother goddess of Harappan culture. So this may be a god similar to Shiva, worshipped in later times in various parts of India. So from other pictures, it seems that the people of Indus took out processions carrying banners in the honor of their gods during the festival times. They celebrated different festivals. So at the time they carried banners also. So like that, our culture established. So our ancient people started worshipping God and goddess and nature. So through that, the religion was created. So different religions were created. So later in the next class, we'll discuss the next part of the lesson. So write your own notes and bits. Thank you.